This guy, this pedophile, has had 5 victims come forward at this point, and he is still walking free. On July 24th, 2021, Chad Melton of Clarksville, Arkansas, was arrested and charged with rape of a person under the age of 14 and second-degree SA. For some of the victims of Chad Melton and some of the people that know Chad Melton, this day was a long time coming. When Chad Melton was arrested in 2021, he had 4 victims that came forward at that time. The first victim of Chad Melton was SA'd by Chad Melton, according to the victim, between the ages of 12 and 13 in a different state. When that first victim was allegedly SA'd, Chad Melton was on a Christmas vacation trip out of state, staying at his mother's house in Texas several years earlier. That was a trip that he took with other family members. Now, that victim did not come forward as soon as the assault happened. She came forward actually after the second victim came forward. So in 2021 is when the second victim came forward. Now, this victim was living in Chad's home at the time, and the charges in Chad's arrest are actually pertaining to this second victim. Now, I feel like it's important to note that Chad Melton was facing DHS court at the same time he was facing criminal court due to this second victim, and he was found guilty, or it was found factual in DHS court. At the time that the second victim came forward, victim number 3 came forward. Now, victim number 3 said that she was SA'd on a hunting trip with Chad Melton, but she later recanted that story. Now, from what I can tell, victim number 3 didn't actually recant until sometime in 2022. Also, after the second victim came forward and Chad Melton was charged, victim number 4 came forward. We don't have any details about the assault of victim number 4 or even the identity of victim number 4, just that there is a 4th victim in Johnson County. So in Johnson County, when Chad Melton was charged, there were 4 victims. Now, the charges for Chad Melton were dropped in October of 2022 when, like I said, victim number 3 recanted, saying that she wasn't actually a victim. When the charges were dropped in October of 2022 due to victim number 3 recanting, the prosecution dropped the charges because the case wasn't as strong as it was with the 4 victims. And, I'm not sure if a lot of people realize, but attorneys, they have win-loss records. They have percentages for what percentage of cases they win. And there are a lot of attorneys that don't want to take cases that they feel that they can't win. While a lot of people believed the 3 victims, there were some people that felt that the reason his charges were dropped was because he was actually innocent. And like I said, I think that confuses people sometimes. People want to believe that everyone who is guilty will be prosecuted and everyone who is innocent will not be prosecuted. But it's simply not the way it happens sometimes. If that were the way it happened, then there wouldn't be an estimated 40% of people in prison who are actually innocent. And people like Chad Melton wouldn't be walking free. So Chad Melton walked free, and those 3 victims did not get justice. That was in 2022. Fast forward to now in 2024, and just recently, Chad Melton was being investigated by Logan County, so a different county altogether, due to a 5th victim coming forward, a new victim. A 5th victim coming forward, you would think that Chad Melton would be sitting in jail right now, but alas, he is not. He is not sitting in jail, and according to the Logan County prosecutor, he won't be sitting in jail anytime soon because Chad Melton once again has gotten away with SAing a child. All of these victims, all 5 of these victims that have came forward at different points in time due to being assaulted by Chad Melton, they're all under the age of 14. So 5 kids, 5 girls under the age of 14 have been touched by this man who has yet to face any sort of legal repercussions from his actions. According to the Logan County prosecutor, he will not be filing charges on this case because there weren't any witnesses to what Chad Melton did. I have to tell you, a person who has 5 victims doesn't just have 5 victims because they're bad at what they're doing. Oh no, he has had time to hone his skills, his very disgusting set of skills. I mean, it serves a reason if he was out doing this in front of everybody, in front of anybody, that he wouldn't just be walking around either because he is in prison or because he's not. Do you know what I'm saying? So the family of some of the victims has asked me to share this message with the communities that Chad Melton frequents until he is arrested and faces repercussions for what he's done. I need for everyone to know Chad Melton is not a safe person for your children to be around. A man who has 5 victims, 5 child victims of SA. It is not a matter of if he will reoffend. It is a matter of when he will reoffend. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, that's fine. But on the off chance that what I'm saying is true, please do not allow your children to be around him. Just protect your kids. That's all anyone is asking at this point in time until there is a prosecutor somewhere that is willing to protect these kids. Please protect your children from people like this, from Chad Melton. Now, I do have longer videos that are just about the first 4 victims or the way that the case was whenever there were 4 known victims that you can go back to if you want to learn more about the crimes of Chad Melton or even about how he was able to gain custody of not just one child, but 2 different female children from 2 different mothers and how he has custody of one of those children today. But like I've said, takeaways from this video: 1, Chad Melton is a pedophile. 2, please protect your children. Don't allow them to go around him. Even if you don't believe the victims, it is better to be safe than sorry. And the third point is a question I want to pose to each of you. How many victims does it take? How many victims is it going to take before we protect our children from people like this?